Oh, hey there, people. How the frig's it going today? Well, tonight, because it's officially nighttime. It's Wednesday night here. I still got 2 more days of work left. Not a big deal. Just waiting for Scruffy Super Fluffy Bobby to come back in. Oh. I need to fix the light out there because I can't see him. But that's fine. Come spring, I'll be able to put my motion sensor outside and life will be good. Anyway, not much going on today. I went and got my stickers for the truck. Got to put those in tomorrow because tomorrow's the due date. Because, well, theoretically, what time is it? It's a... Man, when you drink water, it sounds disgusting. Do you know that? Wait, is there even water in there? Oh, frig, there's no water in there. Jesus, Murphy. Now, you're probably going to say, Adam, that's not nice. You shouldn't yell at the dog when he's drinking water because, you know, who cares how it sounds? That wasn't the dog. That was the cat. So, as some of you may know, because, you know, you live in Ontario and you watch my videos, and you're going to find out now because I'm saying it, we got a new, progressive, conservative representative for the Ontario, for the provincial, I guess. I'm screwing up my words. Let it go. So, originally the PC was going to be, can't remember, some dude that was involved in a sex scandal or some nonsense, whatever. But it turned out it was between Mulrooney and Ford. And Doug Ford won by not very many votes, but still took it. So, Doug Ford is our new PC candidate. And honestly, the stuff he wants to do, I actually agree. And I don't consider myself a conservative. I consider myself a libertarian. But the way he's talking is libertarian talk. First thing he mentions is obviously Canada's getting marijuana legalized for recreational use. He doesn't think the government should have control over it, and I concur, because look at Ontario's liquor prices. You go to the beer store right now and you buy a 2-4 of, I'm going to say, okay, let's go with common beers that you can get here in Quebec. A 2-4 Bud Light here in cans is about, well, let's check, shall we? Because I know it's only $26 in Quebec and Canada, or in Canada, and on, yeah, because Quebec's not Canada, right? They want to split, right? So that's the way it is, right? Look at that, they actually got a beer store app. Isn't that cool? Anyway, let's go with Budweiser, the old Budweiser, because I know you can get that there, and you can definitely get it here. If I can find the son of a bitch. Bud Light, Budweiser. So for a 2-4 of cans, it is $43.95, and I know in Quebec it's about 26 to 28 bucks. So that's what happens when the government's involved of recreational drinking. Can you imagine what would happen if they're involved with recreational marijuanas? I'm just telling you right now, Joe Blow on the street corner pushing dime bags would still be in business because the competition would be non-existent. All right? So what Doug Ford said was he doesn't want the government in control of it. He wants to privatize that industry so that anybody can get a legal marijuana license, a legal cannabis license, and can open up a cannabis dispensary, like how they do it right now for all the medicinals. That isn't government controlled. That's just dispensaries dispensing marijuana to people on medicinal cards. So let's just go with that, but get rid of the card system, unless they want to do buy 5 joints, get 1 free or whatever, and then roll with it. And I'm all for that. And then Kathleen Wynne comes out of left field with her nonsense. And my goodness, is it nonsense. Almost as much nonsense as you can believe. She goes and says, well, that's absurd. Selling cannabis next to candy bars in a corner store. What are you even going on about, you dummy? So what she's using is she's using fear tactics to try and get her way so that she's voted in. That's all she's doing. And it ain't right and it ain't tight. Because stupid people are actually like, oh my God, imagine that. Oh, Henry Bar? Joint. All that's going to do is make people fat because they're going to buy a whole bunch of candy bars and marijuana and smoke it. And oh my God, my kids might get it. You do realize that if this does get into corner stores, it's going to be triggered like cigarettes, right? You get carded for you get ID'd, carded, and then you can make the purchase. Not, you're going to go buy a pack of gummy bears, and right beside the gummy bears is pre-rolled joints at, you know, whatever a piece. Like, if you figure that's how it's going to be if it's privatized, then you probably need the liberal government, because they're there to do everything for you, so you don't have to, because that's what liberals like. They don't want control. They want everything done for them because they can't handle it. They just can't. I like everything Ford had to say, honestly. Everything he talks about reminds me of what a libertarian is. We don't believe the government should have control over everything. We believe the people should have the say. Isn't that the reason why the U.S. is allowed to have firearms? So when the government gets out of whack, if they try to come after the people have something to defend themselves with. Another thing I like that Doug Ford's doing is he wants to do away with the income tax for those who aren't quite making it. As in, if you're making $30,000 or less a year, you don't pay income tax until you're over the $30,000 mark. I think that's going to help out a lot of these people on minimum wage. You know, because he wants to cap minimum wage at 14 bucks an hour and not bring it to 15. But if you don't have to pay income tax, that's an extra 160 bucks a month in your pocket that you don't have to give to the government. That's pretty good. Now, I'm not sure exactly how they're planning on implementing that, but I'm just going by what his platform said. Obviously, more will develop as we go, as the politicians are bouncing off of each other and going at each other. See, I used to support the NDP a lot, NDP, but then I saw what's going on out west and how the NDP over there is basically conforming with every single move that the Liberal Trudeau wants. He says jump, and they're like, how high? And they're not basically doing what they said they were going to do. So I'm worried that if the NDP get in over here, they're going to do the same thing. Because let's face it, when Stephen Harper was in charge of Canada, we had a surplus of cash of about $3 million bucks. Yeah, not much, but he took us out of deficit from where the Liberals left us. People hated him because things were rough, because he was trying to fix the friggin' budget. Budget gets fixed, he gets voted out, Trudeau gets voted in, and boom, shakalaka, we're $300 billion in deficit. Why? Because he spends, just throws money around like it's free, like he owns it. It's freaking embarrassing. So I'm actually excited to see what's going to happen with these elections coming up. Am I going to vote Conservative? I don't know. If I like what I hear, there's an excellent chance I might. Even though my uncle is running for the NDP. Yeah, probably going to vote against him. Oh well, it's the way she goes. It's politics, bitch. But like I said, we'll wait and see how it plays out, and we'll go from there. But I just thought I'd talk about that. And, yeah, it is what it is. Oh, well, walk out the door and I got animals attacking me from every damn angle over here. What are you all winded for? Yeah, you want the pets, eh? Who the puppy want the pets? Anyway, can you hear him? Like, sounds like he just ran a marathon, for crying out loud. I just got done playing some PUBG with Chutch. But he's got to go to bed because he's got to work in the AM and I got to work in the PM. Which is fine by me. I haven't had much to eat today. I realize that now. So I think what I'm going to do, remember when I cut that roast into steaks? I'm going to air fry the tits off of that. And probably eat the rest of this. And then that should fill me up. S&P is good for me. Yeah, it's funny, people. Yeah, tomorrow I got to make sure I put the sticker on the truck. That's a given. But we got talking about stuff and junk and talking about the new Zenfone 5Z. Yeah, super want that phone. Holy crap. It's literally a Samsung Galaxy S9 and an Asus body. And it looks like an iPhone X, but it's got some pretty sick stats. Like, go check it out. You might be impressed. Then I jumped on the old Fortnite and said, because Trish was going to bed, and I'm like, I'm going to play a couple rounds of Fortnite and see what this is all about and see if it's any better. And I thought PUBG had hackers. Ooh, that was gross. Fortnite, 20 times worse. This guy literally kills me, okay? And I'm like, okay, well, fair and square. Like, we fought it out in a place, and he bested me and he beat me. I'll accept it. But then I started tailing him, because you can just, if you don't exit out of the lobby, you follow your killer. And I'm watching him. He leaves the building, he scales up, he builds a ramp up, and he goes over, gets on the roof of a house, bangs out the roof, and bang, bang, kills that guy. And I'm like, whoa, how did he know that guy was there? Because I can hear what he hears and everything, and I didn't hear any movement from that house. He just went over and killed him. He walks out the door, snaps to the left, and kills another guy, runs down, and like builds a platform, runs down, and goes up into this other house, pops the roof up, and kills the guy on the top of the roof. Like, you can't tell me this guy's not using some sort of like a see-through walls hack or where are the players located hack or something. And I remember PUBG, when that first came out, people were using one called EMS or ESP or something like that, where it would allow them to tell where the players were, where the items were in the house, what loot was good, what loot was bad. And the worst part is you could see it from the plane. So as you're looking down on the world, you can be like, okay, well, there's a Car 98 over there with an 8x scope and some ammo for it. And in the building right beside it's an AKM. Good loadout, gonna go over there, pick all that shit up, and I'm gonna dominate. And then you can see where everybody else was too, that parachuting down. And as long as you didn't have a computer that wasn't complete crap, you didn't get 3 frames per second. And I remember there was a couple of YouTubers who actually demonstrated the cheats and how they work. And it was brutal. Honestly, it was brutal. It was a serious, brutal thing. So, why cheat games like that? Why? Winning doesn't get you anything in PUBG, and it doesn't get you anything in Fortnite. Your KD ratio is about it. You don't get any extra items to land with. You just get stupid crate items that you can then use to make your character look different. Whoop-de-frickin-doo-dah. Like, I really don't get it, but maybe I'm not supposed to. So, needless to say, Fortnite, not a big fan. I told Church maybe he should get it and install it, but I don't know if I want to play that game. It's really fast-paced, and I played like 5 rounds, and every round was the same pretty much. You get picked off way too quick, and there's no survivability. Like, maybe it's just the time of night that I'm playing it. Oh, I mentioned about Fortnite being full of cheaters. Oh, okay, so only upside is it's for the console. Well, it is for the console, because PUBG is not coming to PlayStation from what I gather. It's strictly Xbox. And if you got a PS4, the only option for a Battle Royale game is Fortnite. So you guys remember last year, not around this time, it would have been about 2 years around this time, I worked at a call center. And it didn't put any of my skills except for my customer service skills to work. And I hated it. It drove me nuts because it was just non-stop bullshit. Well, that call center and 2 others in town, because we do have 9 call centers in this town, I've posted ads on a few job sites, Job Search, Ready, Set, Hire, and Indeed, that I know of. Could be some others that I've never even heard of. I just heard of Ready, Set, Hire recently. They're hiring, like, combined it's about 250 people. Starting wage $16.80 an hour. Okay, that's interesting. Seeing how when I worked there, they were complaining about paying us $11.50, but I digress. Yeah, $6.80 an hour. Full benefits, and a lot of them have incentives to earn more money, like depending on your performance and your quality. I'm sitting there looking at that going, that's $3.20 less than what I'm making now. And what I deal with is some high-end, confidential, and sometimes life or death situations. So here's hope in April that the company I work for actually does the equal pay for equal work, because if not, well, there's about 250 options out there to potentially better myself, because right now I don't have benefits. And now you're probably saying, well, Adam, you live in Canada. What do you need benefits for? All your medical's paid for. No. Drugs are not paid for. So let's say I get pneumonia and I go to the hospital, and they want to send me home, and they go, okay, well, we need to send you home with a prescription for prednisone, Ventolin, and some other puffer. Well, Venolin's $25 a shot. The other puffer, if it's, I can't remember the name, it's Sabulitin or something like that. Sabuflovent, I don't know. Anyway, that one there I know was $70. And then prednisone, that can be upwards of $300 depending on the make. I got to pay that out of my pocket because I don't have benefits. So it's like, what do I say? Well, I can't afford the drugs, so I might as well just die because I can't afford it. So game over. You know, it's kind of brutal, but at least if we get the equal pay for equal work, I might be able to afford to pay for benefits, which would be decent. Then I could just buy benefits, you know, pay the insurance. It's about $40, no, $60 a month, I think. And you pay the first $100 of your prescription for the year, and the rest is paid for by them. So that's pretty good. But do I want to go back to that lifestyle? Not really. I really like the job I have now. It's fun. I get to fix shit. My expertise comes into play, and it's a good time. Now, they are training a bunch of guys for after hours at work. They hired a whole slew of new guys. And today, the boss walks up to me and he goes, so Adam, or he actually walks up to me and my coworker. He goes, just letting you know that we got three new guys being trained, and once they're good to go, we're going to put them on reserve, and we got 2 more guys coming in that we're going to get trained up as well for after hours. Just letting you guys know in case you want off of after hours and go back to Monday to Friday, because they'd love to see us come off after hours, because both me and my colleague there, we're heavy hitters, and they want us on the phones during the day when a lot of the mass products, like a lot of the problems are happening, and they also want us in the support room so that we can help the noobs get shit did. But the problem is Monday to Friday, now you're probably thinking I'm insane for this, because I said before, I'd get a part-time job if I ever worked Monday to Friday again, just to try and make some extra cash. But the reason why I don't want to do it is the guys working Monday to Friday right now are only getting 29 hours a week. Now, I remember my first part-time job. Can't live off that many hours. Right now, I get about 36 hours a week, because they don't, 36 and a quarter. Holy. Boil, baby, boil. Look at it. Just look at it. So yeah, I get about 36 hours a week, or 36 and a quarter, because they don't pay for your 45-minute lunch. And that's way nicer than 29 hours. Now, a lot of the guys there, what they do is they work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, then they're off Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then they go back Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. So, actually, they're getting less than 29 hours. They're getting, well, some of them actually go in Friday for 4 hours and then they're done. They work half-day Fridays. But I don't want to do that. I want my 36 hours, and right now the time off I get is pretty damn good. Like this weekend I get it off Saturday and Sunday. Okay, whoop-de-doo, that's just like working a regular Monday to Friday shift. Next week it's a heavy shift. I work 51 hours. So I work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, off Thursday, work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are 2 12-hour shifts. But then I'm off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Oh, sorry, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday I go in from 11 p.m. I work Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of this week, but Sunday kind of splits because it's at night. And then the following week I work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then I'm off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then I'm back on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The amount of time I get off now is perfect. I don't mind it. It's a little bit, I wish it wasn't as much. Normally I get a Sunday off when I work the night shifts, but I take my coworker Sunday because he'd rather get the time off and not work it. And I'd rather work it because I want money. It's just the way she goes. Oh, so it works out for me, it works out for him. Everything's working out. Life is grand. Only thing I wish is we got paid for what we were due, you know, because when you see full-timers in there doing the same job, making $29 an hour entry level, $32 max pay, and you're destroying their scores and just putting them to shame, and you're actually telling them how to do stuff that they should know how to do but don't know how to do, it's kind of upsetting. It's very much upsetting. Anywho, my simple yet probably delicious dinner is ready. Got some spicy ramen and some meat chunks. I'm gonna go eat. So we just basically gotta wait till the end of the month, get our new contracts and see what we get. And here's hoping everything works out for the best. I'm trying to be as optimistic as possible, but you never know. You know, and now I'm doing some more research here on the different platforms. Liberal one I don't really go for, but I'm looking at the NDP one. They got some good stuff going on, except for I like the minimum wage being stopped at $14 an hour, but being income tax removed on anybody making under $30,000 a year. I think that's great. NDP wants to bring it up to $15 an hour, which okay, I guess. But they also have things in here like guaranteeing hours and predictable schedules. This is just the work stuff. Like, their platform's obviously more defined than Ford's platform, because he just got elected a couple days ago. And they have like a whole PDF file spelled out saying what they're going to do. And a lot of it is what we fought for with 15 in fairness. And like predictable schedules where the guaranteed hours, like when they tell you you're going to work 40 hours a week, it's not, well, there's cutbacks, so we can't afford to. No, they got to give you 40 hours a week because they said, you know. The fairness for temp workers where, like for instance, in my case, I make about 33% less than the guy sitting behind me doing the same damn job. But because he's part of the union and in the contract it states that as long as he does 50 tasks, whether it be emails, calls, direct interactions, as long as he performs 50 tasks, once those are completed, he cannot be disciplined for not being productive enough, for being unproductive. I don't have that same benefit. I got to give her to the bitter end. So where this person can only has to do 50 and then can just sit there and, you know, make puppies for the rest of the day, I got to grind all day long, and I'll do about 200-300 interactions a day, if you will. You know, so that's kind of cool. What else is there here? Protecting independent workers, like Ontarians working outside of the traditional employer-employee relationship. I'm not sure exactly what that means. I think that's like, oh, solopreneurs. Like, for instance, if I were to hire a contractor to roof my house, they're going to get some sort of a protection. I guess. I don't know. I'll have to read into that more. Supporting the right to join a union and belong to a union. So theoretically, even though we're under contract, we could just join the union. As long as they hand us a card and we sign off on it. Keeping workers safe. That's already in effect with the fairness and 15 in fairness. And establishing card check certification and introducing first contract arbitration. That's part of the union nonsense. They want to create more jobs and get businesses back over here. But what I'm not seeing that would get more businesses back over here is getting rid of that damn carbon tax. Because that's what caused a lot of the major manufacturing jobs to pack up and bounce. Oh, wait, what's this? A strong coordination, comprehensive strategy? I don't know. I don't know what this is. So, supporting our media and culture industries, getting moving on the Ring of Fire. Well, that was supposed to be done when I was working at Ontario, and that never happened. And they're talking about public health care, where they want to get that all straightened out, but that's going to take a little more than 4 years, because that's just a friggin' abysmal mess right now. After the Liberals just completely decimated it. Investing in quality long-term care, so that's good. Tackling user fees in healthcare, guaranteeing caregiver leaves, improving cancer care, protecting hospitals, just a bunch of, like, it's all stuff, like, it's just a huge PDF of stuff that they want to do. But more affordable, livable cities and towns. This is what they both have this right now. Cutting hydro costs and bringing Hydro One back into public hands. This is what they need to do. Because I'm telling you guys, when I first bought this house back in 2006, my hydro bill was only $90 a month. In the blink of an eye, my hydro bill went from $90 a month up to $179 a month, and I was like, what happened? Why did it double? Doesn't make sense. They added that new delivery charge, which guarantees they're going to get $130 no matter what. So if I only use $90 worth of hydro, they take some off of it, off of the delivery charge, but they guarantee that it's always going to be a high number, so they're making their money back. And that was because of some stupid mistakes made by the Liberals with those dumb frickin' turbines. You've probably seen them if you live in southern Ontario. Half the time they're not spinning. Most of them have motors built into them to make them spin when they're not spinning. The reason why they say the reason why they have the motor in there is because if they stop spinning for too long, they jam up and they won't start up again. So the motor's designed to keep them rolling. But I know a guy who talked to one of the maintenance workers who installed all the motors in them, and they said, no, that's not the case. Like, it's just a giant fan hooked up to a generator. Like, if it spins, it spins. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. Because as long as it's lubricated, it's going to spin when the wind hits it. He goes, the reason why the motors are there is so that they're always spinning, so that people don't complain when they're not spinning, saying, see, look at that. That's a waste of my tax-paying dollars. That's the reason why they have the motors in them. So they want to do something about the cost of hydro. So does the PC. And making childcare more affordable. Okay, that's great. My brother would love that. Road maintenance. Well, that's yeah. Yeah, that's going to cost some money. I don't care what anybody said. That's going to cost some money. Making home ownership a reality. They probably want to fix that new mortgage law, because that new mortgage law is brutal. Guys, you got to have like 15% down or something like that. It's a brutal thing to buy a house right now in Ontario. Maybe it's Canada-wide. Could be just Ontario. I'm not sure. Making rental affordable. So that'd be nice for people who rent apartments and stuff. Increased access to recreation. Improving consumer protection. Decent. Reducing auto insurance rates. Oh my goodness. Could you guys do that? Can you guys actually do that? 15% savings and more while protecting benefits? Can we actually do that? Oh man, I'm starting to swing NDP again, boys. Yeah. Improving access to healthy and affordable food. Oh, wouldn't that be great? No more processed chicken fingers for this boy. Eh? Let me tell you. Making communities safer for all of us. That'd be great. So improving the social. Okay, it's like this is the platform. Like, they gotta hurry up with Ford and do one of these so that people can read it and go, all right, cool. This looks pretty good. But kindergarten to grade 12. What's this? Oh, okay. So basically, making kindergarten classes smaller. Yeah, because you know what? Little ones need more one-on-one time with authority and learning. Like my niece, she's got it made right now. She goes to daycare because both my brother and his girlfriend work. So she goes to daycare during the day while they're out, doing the daily grind. And where she goes is actually where I went to French school. This little place, little 7-8 school, junior high, but now it's been converted to daycare. And I think Dad said it's still 7-8, but they have a daycare there. And it's not just let the kids play and babysit. They actually teach them stuff. And it's basically kindergarten. And she's only like 2. She's going to be 3 May the 4th. And she's already learning things, and she can already speak, and she's already, well into it. That come kindergarten, she's going to hit school with a running start. It's going to be great. And that's what they need. But let me tell you, that service is spendy. So if they can make that there a little more affordable, that's going to really take the vice grip off my brother's nuts. He kind of needs that. See, there's a lot of, and you guys probably got offended by me saying all about Rob Ford. I keep saying Rob Ford. He was the mayor of Toronto, and it's his brother Doug. who's the new PC guy. A lot of you probably got triggered by that, but I didn't look into the NDP stuff. The NDP stuff is actually aiming more towards me. The problem is North Bay, the city I live in, I already know who's going to win here. It's going to be the same guy who wins every year. Good old Vic Fideli. The guy wins all the time for our nominee, like our guy. And the reason why is it's actually my uncle who is the NDP guy here. And I mentioned I wasn't going to vote for him, but I might now, because a lot of people want to vote Vic in, but a lot of people don't want Ford to win. See what I'm saying? They don't like Ford because he's been classified as the Trump of Ontario. But is that fair to say? Like, do we really know this guy? Like, because his brother partied hard. He also worked hard. He did a lot for Toronto, that guy. And he was really well liked by the people in Toronto. Where a lot of people are saying, like, oh, I don't know if I want to get the other guy, the NDP guy, because he doesn't have much experience. But the problem is what they don't realize is he does have experience. Maybe not in political, but he has experience in getting shit did. Because he's been doing it for the unions. He's been doing the OFL, that's the Ontario Federation of Labour. He's been organizing rallies. He knows how to get stuff done, and he doesn't mind stepping on toes to make sure it gets done. So that's why I think he'd be good for it. He's got the experience. He's got the know-how. He just doesn't have the support. This might be the kick in the pants that gets him in. So I'm really liking what I'm seeing from the NDP side of things, and yeah, I'm thinking it could very well be the way I go. But like I say, what I'm going to do, they usually have debates and stuff. I'm going to get more involved in this. Like, I should be doing that. Usually they have it at the school down by my house at the end of that road that every time I drive, you see that high school on the right. When that happens, I think I'm going to actually go there and see how they handle themselves up on the stage and bitter back and forth and all that. It's going to be, I don't know who the liberal dick is in town, but I know it's Fideli and my uncle as PC and NDP. And we'll play it out. We'll see how it goes. I'm sorry that 90% of this bullshit was all political. It's just been on my mind. But as for a driving thing, hey, you want to know what burns my gears for drivers? You're going to like this one. I don't know in your town how it works, but we got these roadways here in town. And at the end of the roadway, you got a thick white line, right? That's where you're supposed to stop your car. Or before it a little bit, but not after. You're supposed to stop there. That's like, if you can rest your tires on there, apparently I was told that's good. That's how it was when I took driving school. Maybe it's not like that anymore. Don't you just frickin' hate it when people park one car length back from that? So like there's a car length between you and the white line. See, there's a problem in North Bay when you do that. A lot of the lights are on magnetic timers, where they detect a car in the lane, and that's when they choose whether or not they're going to engage the lights to change. So if you don't pull all the way up, the light doesn't detect a vehicle there, and it'll just hang with the traffic going left to right. It won't even bother. So tonight I'm coming home from work, and somebody's doing that. They're actually back a car lane. And we're waiting, and I waited 5 minutes, the light never changed. I'm like, holy shit. Waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, still nothing. Waiting and waiting and waiting, still nothing. 8 minutes goes by, the light's not changing. This is on the highway where the beer store is. Finally, I sound off. Bap, bap, bap. And then Buddy yells at the window, he's like, what? And I'm like, move forward. Don't tell me how to drive. No, move forward to set off the sensor, dummy. Finally, he moves forward. 2 minutes later, the light changes. Because it detected there was a car there. That's all you have to do. Just move forward so that the sensor can pick up that there's a vehicle there. I don't know why people do that. Why park so far back? Especially in a blind intersection. If you stop way back, you can't tell if a car is speeding through, and it's going to smash you if you go. So pull up, look, go. It doesn't make a lick of sense to me, boys. But anyway, I'm going to shut her down here, so let me know on your political views, and if you're in Ontario, I don't know, post who you're going to vote for, unless you want to keep it secret. I understand that. A lot of people don't like to post about political stuff. I personally don't, but I think I need to get more involved in this shit, you know. I am 39 now. That just happened 3 hours and 37 minutes ago. Son of a bitch. Thanks for watching. Like, favorite, and comment, and until next time, people, keep on blowing.